So I am Gwenaelle Avice-Huet. I'm Executive Vice President of ENGIE. I'm in charge of energy renewables worldwide, and I'm also the Chief Executive Officer for ENGIE in North America. So I'm based in Texas, Houston, where we have our headquarters for North America. I'm personally committed to climate change issues. That's why I'm so happy to be there and for a company that is driving the energy transition worldwide.
I was in the United States when where I first began studying opera. I always had that kind of idea that I wanted to go to Europe and I wanted to experience what it was like to sing where opera was kind of founded for me. Then I actually spent 2 years in Germany, in Munich. And then as a part of that time, I was working and singing professionally already, and then I decided to join the Academy of the Paris Opera. It's been an amazing honor to be a part of that, and to be considered among some of the best singers in the world. Just a kind of a dream come true in some ways for me.
I remember in 1992, there was this summit in Rio and everybody was talking about climate change. And now it's become a key element of the strategy for companies like ours. And we can move the needle, we can have a direct impact. And that's why, for me, working here is so aligned with my personal convictions. And for example, we are doing so much developments in renewables energy worldwide. Even in the US, for example, like 2 years ago, we had nothing on renewables. And now we are building 2 gigawatts. It's a lot. And so it's just to show that in a very short time frame, we can have meaningful impact on climate change. Climate change is there, and it's the next crisis that we have in front of us. So we should be completely prepared. And that's how I see my role within ENGIE, is to prepare for the next crisis and to improve and to develop solutions in order to accelerate the energy transition happen worldwide.
Yeah, that's kind of a funny question. I did not really know that I wanted to be an opera singer until maybe about the age of 22. I had always loved performing. That was kind of the thing that brought me into it. And it turned out that my voice was well suited to opera singing, and that really just kind of pulled me along into where I am now.
So I would say this crisis revealed the way to think differently about business, to be more innovative, more creative, and to have solidarity on the front line. Our first priority was health and safety, and it's still health and safety of all our employees across North America and worldwide. And so we've been working for many hospitals to refurbish the hospitals, to build temporary hospitals. And so we've been working with General Motors, with Ford, transforming the supply chain in order to deliver those respirators, those ventilators. Because in cases like this ones, we all have to be into solidarity. So that's what we did also externally, with commitment of ENGIE through food banks, for example, hospitals.
First of all, I mean, I feel so grateful to the medical workers and the people like you who are working to make sure that, you know, all of these things that make up our society run well, and that the ventilators are there and all of these things. And in some ways, I feel a little bit helpless as an artist, but our industry too has been innovating, and I think that's a really important thing for us as well. It's a very difficult time for a lot of artists because opera as we know it essentially has been put on hold. So we've had to innovate, and with the Opéra de Paris, we've performed little YouTube videos. It's been a fun challenge in some ways for us to learn how to innovate and to be able to do Zoom lessons and performances and all of these things. That's been a real challenge, but a joy as well for us.
the crisis that has emerged shows how vulnerable we are. The challenges ahead of us are to make sure that when we will rebuild the economy, we focus the energy, the resources on what makes the difference, especially in a transition, which is something on the top of priority. So it's working on new rebound plans, making sure that we don't decelerate, but on the contrary, that the rebound will be green, and that we will focus on the investments on those areas.
I do think that we can learn to innovate, and we can learn to find ways to reach smaller audiences. We get the opportunity actually to reach a more intimate setting of people that can be socially distanced maybe. And that's a really exciting thing for me as a performer. In some ways, it's nice to not be able to see the audience. It's kind of, it saves us a little bit, but sometimes that connection is so real, and it's nice for us to be a part of that. And so we want it to be there when we come out of this.
I am working on energy transition and all those innovative technologies and all that. But I have also a musician background. And so for me, what Alex is saying, it means something. So I completely understand the challenges that Alex is going through.
I will just jump on that. And I have the utmost respect for the efforts that you are making to combat climate change and to be on the forefront of that fight, because it's just, I mean, it's so important to me as a younger person to think about, the maintaining the qualities of the earth that we have now. And in fact, that was really interesting for me to notice during the time of quarantine, was that you could immediately smell like the air was so much cleaner, and not to say that would change how I would sing, but I mean, it's certainly a much more pleasurable experience to live in a world like that. So I thank you for the work that you're doing, and keep on keeping on, I guess.